Hey guys, what is going on? It's me, Box12 here. Welcome back to another Realm of the Mad God video. Gonna be a quick one today, not a whole lot to talk about, but this is something that has been on my mind for, I want to say, the last couple of years. It's not a big deal or anything, but it is something that is sort of a nagging issue when buying keys, and that is the price of some of them. And it all starts with the Snake Pit and UDL. And I'm sure that Deca has confronted this issue in some way before, and I imagine it was one of those things where it's like, we'll get to that later. But as we can see, UDL and Snake Pit keys are 100 gold. Not a problem. I think they've been that since the very beginning. But then we go over to something like the Abyss of Demons, a dungeon that I think we can all agree is more difficult than the Snake Pit and UDL combined, I would say, and is even longer. Typically speaking, keys have always been priced based on their difficulty, because generally speaking, the more difficult the dungeon, the better the loot. It's just how it goes. You put in more work, you do the harder stuff, so to speak, you get the better items. In the case of the Abyss of Demons, there is an argument to be made that vitality isn't as good as speed or even wisdom sometimes. Okay, let's say that is the truth. Then we have stuff like this. Deadwater Docks. 50, dropping both speed and dexterity, even life potions sometimes. Again, way harder than the Snake Pit and UDL, and even the Abyss. Woodland Labyrinth, same thing. Crawling Depths, same thing. The Manor of Immortals is only 50. Mad Lab is only 50. But then the Cursed Library and Ice Cave are 100, matching the Snake Pit and UDL, which is not the same. I would probably, well, I would scale these down to this and then probably keep them where they are, and then Manor and Lab could also stay with them. But then we get down here, and we have the Pirate Cave key, and the Forest Maze, and I'm pretty sure Sprite World is 50 as well, I can't remember. But the Pirate Cave is the same exact price as the Deadwater Docks key. It's more difficult counterpart. Like, that should say it all right there, that we might have a bit of a pricing problem. Even some of the more endgame stuff like Ocean Trench and Shatters, I'm fine with them both being 200 gold. Like, it's fine, I get it, that's the new price cap. But they are not the same. They should not be priced equally if we're talking about worth and difficulty. And there are a few factors you have to take into consideration. It's mainly the risk-reward ratio, plus how much time does it take? Because if a super fast dungeon gives you really good loot, and then there's a really long dungeon that gives you just as good loot, you'd probably want to make the faster dungeon more expensive because it's just more lucrative by default. Which is more so on the game's end of balancing dungeons and the loot, not so much the key pricing, but I mean, that's a different topic. In the case of the Shatters, it's longer and drops better stuff than Ocean Trench. It's just, that's how it is. So either we would dial up Shatters to like 250, or we would dial this down to like 175. I think using in-between values would be the best thing to do, like Pirate Cave and Forest Maze and all that. And Hive is 100 for some reason. I get that it's a bit harder than these two, but I would say make these 25, make this 150, and again, these 100, but then Sewers, and Toxic Sewers drops defense. It's like one of the only main sources of defense that we have, and it's only 50 gold. Same as a Pirate Cave. Davy Jones 100 as well. This makes sense, this is 200, I'm fine with that. But then the Shaitan's Key, 50 gold again, and Nidarian Reef is right here. These are both, oh, and can't forget the Puppet Master's Encore. These, all three of these, are Court of Oryx dungeons. Single room boss fights, I might add, that are very quick. There's no dungeon to do. It's just a boss. And they're the same exact price as endgame content, as a Lost Halls key. Granted, they don't drop the same loot, obviously, but you're paying for the same, you're paying the same amount. And then Shaitan is like, now we're going to be 50. It's just, it's all over the place. And it's unfortunate, really the main problem with it is that it deters me from buying certain keys. I never want to buy a Snake Pit or a UDL key. Oh, that's albine him. Shoot, I have my chat off right now just while I'm recording. He's probably saying stuff to me. It actually deters me from buying lower tier keys like Snake Pit and UDL because they're more expensive than the harder stuff that yields better loot. Like, the whole purpose of keys is to be convenient, and whenever the cost outweighs that convenience, we know we have a problem. So, that's really all I want to say on that. Let me know what you think about the prices, how you would change them, if you would change them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to check out the next episode whenever I post it, which will probably be soon. Alright, I'm gonna turn my chat back on. These guys are... they're cornering me. See ya.